Theodore Cooper. Theodore Cooper, January 13, 1839 – August 24, 1919, was an American civil engineer. He may be best known as consulting engineer on the Quebec Bridge that collapsed in 1907. Biography. Upon receiving a degree in civil engineering from Rensselaer Institute, now Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, at 1858, Cooper accepted a position as assistant engineer on the Troy and Greenfield Railroad and Hoosac Tunnel. He entered the Navy in 1861. His military career lasted over a decade and included active duty aboard the gunboat Chicxulub and the Nyack in the South Pacific, as well as assignments as an instructor and engineer at the Naval Academy. After resigning from the Navy in 1872 with the rank of First Assistant Engineer, he was appointed inspector at the Midvale Steel Works by James Eads, designer of the node with the Mississippi River Steel Arch Bridge. Eads Bridge at Street Louis. He succeeded Eads as engineer of the Bridge and Tunnel Company from 1872 to 1875. Cooper was also assistant engineer in charge of the construction of the first elevated railroads in New York City. He was one of the 5 expert engineers selected by the President to determine the Hudson River Bridge span. Cooper was also the consulting engineer for the New York Public Library. Cooper's designs included a broad variety of structures, ranging from the Lauder shops of the Mexican National Railroad to the furnace plant of the Lackawanna Coal and Iron Company at Scranton, Pennsylvania, but his most memorable contributions were in the area of British design. His bridge-building career extended from his discharge from the Navy until his retirement in 1907. He designed the junction bridges over the Allegheny River at Pittsburgh 1876, the Seacount Bridge at Providence, Rhode Island, the 2nd Avenue Bridge over the Harlem River at New York City, and the Newburyport, Massachusetts Bridge over the Merrimack River. The 3rd 6th Street Bridge has been identified as the only surviving structure entirely designed by Cooper, whose involvement extended even to such details as the bridge's handrail, lamps, and fascia. Between 1885 and 1902, Cooper published several important works on railroad and highway bridge design. His theory strongly influenced the adoption of wheel load analysis for railroad bridges. Also during this period, he served as consultant to numerous commissions charged with the development of rapid transit systems in such cities as New York and Boston. The career of this distinguished and celebrated engineer, twice awarded the Noma Medal by the American Society of Civil Engineers, ended in tragedy when the monumental Quebec Bridge, for which Cooper was consulting engineer, collapsed while under construction in 1907, resulting in 75 fatalities. Cooper was roundly criticized in post-accident reports for his poor judgment and lack of teamwork in the run-up to the disaster. Cooper died in his home in New York City on August 24, 1919, of pneumonia at the age of 81. He was unmarried. Cooper's loading system. Cooper is also responsible for developing in 1894 a system of calculations and standards for the safe loading of railway bridges. Cooper's loading system was based on a standard of Eton, meaning a pair of 2-80 type steam locomotives pulling an infinite number of rail cars. Each locomotive was given an axle loading of 10,000 lb for the driving axles, 5,000 lb for the leading truck, and 6,500 lb for the tender trucks. Each trailing rail car was given an axle loading of 1,000 lb/ft of track. During the 1880s, railway bridges were built using an equivalent rating of E20. By 1894, when Cooper presented his standard, he recommended a standard of E40, or 4 times the Eton standard. By 1914, the standard had increased to E60. By the mid-1990s, the American Railway Engineering Association was recommending E70 to 7.2 times the Eton standard for concrete structures, and EIT for steel structures.